Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. World rings in New Year with celebrations across the world. Around 40 people killed in a New Year's Eve party blaze in a ski resort in Switzerland. Another 100 injured in an explosion. All Indian exports to have 100% duty-free access to Australian market from January 1st under the India-Australia ECTA agreement, says Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. Financial Stability Report of India's Central Bank, RBI, predicts Indian economy to likely maintain strong growth. Health of commercial banks remains sound. Police cordoned off and forensic tents could be seen outside a bar on Thursday where around 40 people have been killed in a New Year's Eve party in the upscale ski resort of Crans-Montana in Switzerland. Another 100 have been injured. Most of them are seriously wounded after the explosion tore through the crowded bar, Swiss officials said. The fire broke out in a bar called Le Constellation in the resort in southwestern Switzerland. The cause of the blast remains unclear, but authorities said that it appeared to be an accident. So dozens of people are feared dead and around 100 others injured in this deadly fire at a New Year's party in a Swiss ski resort on Thursday. DD India correspondent Nidhi from Switzerland joins us now. Nidhi, what more can you tell us about this incident in Crans-Montana?
In the early hours of 1st of January, around 1:30 a.m., in the center of Crans-Montana at Le Constellation Bar, a deadly fire broke out. Several people were present at the bar during that time celebrating the new year. The emergency services immediately kicked in. Police, firefighters, rescue workers and air ambulance arrived at the scene within minutes. According to the latest press briefing by the Valais police, several dozen are feared dead and more than 100 have sustained burn injuries and are treated at burn centers across Switzerland in cities such as Lausanne and Zurich. It's important to note that Crans-Montana is a famous upscale ski resort attracting hundreds of tourists from around the world. And when the fire broke out, authorities fear that they were tourists from around the world and expect the casualty list to include several nationalities.
Nidhi, also tell us, have the authorities confirmed the origins or cause of the fire?
The investigation is underway and the public prosecutor has not shared any further details about the probable cause for the incident. However, the public prosecutor added that there was no question of an attack. Given that the local Valais intensive care units are full capacity at this point in time, the police has advised the public to exercise caution in daily activities such as driving and skiing to avoid further stressing the medical and emergency units. Back to you in the newsroom.
Moving on now, Russia had alleged that Ukraine carried out a drone attack on President Vladimir Putin's residence in the Novgorod region, although they did not say where he was at the time. On Wednesday, the Defense Ministry published a video of a downed drone that it claimed was used to conduct the offensive. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Wednesday that his country was 10% away from a deal to end the conflict with Russia, but cautioned that the most important issues were unresolved and warned against rewarding Moscow. In his New Year Eve's address, Zelensky said his country wanted an end to the conflict, but not at any cost, and that any agreement needed strong security guarantees to deter Russia from invading again. Zelensky said in the address that the peace agreement is 90% ready.
Чого хоче Україна?
What does Ukraine want? Peace? Yes. At any cost? No. We want the end of the war, not the end of Ukraine. Are we tired? Extremely. Does that mean we are ready to surrender? Those who think so are deeply mistaken. Ukraine does not need a Minsk-style, meticulously drafted trap. Signatures under weak agreement only fuel war. My signature will be under a strong agreement. And that is exactly what every meeting, every call, every decision is about right now. To secure a strong peace for everyone.
Не потрібно.
Russian President Vladimir Putin urged Russians to believe in victory in Ukraine during his annual New Year's Eve address, his fourth since the conflict began. The Russian leader has consistently told his citizens that the military intends to seize the rest of the Ukrainian land he has proclaimed as Russian by force if talks fail.
Уважаемые граждане России,
We strive to bring joy and warmth to those in need of our participation and care, and of course to support our heroes, the participant in the special military operation in word and deed. You have taken on the responsibility to fight for your native land, for truth and justice. Millions of people across Russia are with you on this New Year's Eve. They are thinking of you, empathizing with you, hoping for you. We are united in our sincere, selfless, and devoted love for Russia. I congratulate all our soldiers and commanders on the coming New Year. We believe in you and our victory.
от искреннего стремления принести ей пользу.
Meanwhile, firefighters battled multiple blazes in Ukraine's Odessa region after Russian strikes hit the area on New Year's night, causing damage to residential buildings. Regional authorities say Russia launched an overnight drone attack, striking homes and civilian infrastructure and injuring 4 people, including 3 children. Odessa, a key Black Sea port city, has been repeatedly targeted by Russian missiles and drones during nearly 4 years of war, with attacks frequently hitting energy facilities, transport hubs, port infrastructure and residential neighborhoods. On to Europe now. Bulgaria became the 21st nation to adopt the euro as its official currency on New Year's Day, joining the Eurozone. The historic moment was marked by a countdown displayed on the Bulgarian Central Bank's building, followed by images of new Bulgarian euro coins and the European Union flag. People gathered in the square next to the central bank to celebrate New Year's Eve and Bulgaria's euro adoption. Now, as the clock struck 12 in the midnight, the world welcomed 2026 with spectacle and celebration, ushering in New Year with lights, music and tradition. In Scotland, fireworks illuminated the skies above Edinburgh Castle as tens of thousands gathered in the city centre for the Hogmanay. Revellers joined voices to sing Auld Lang Syne, marking the arrival of the new year in time-honoured style. In Brazil, thousands took to the beaches of Rio de Janeiro, where more than 1,200 drones lit up the night sky. A towering recreation of Christ the Redeemer dazzled spectators as Brazil rang in 2026 with a high-tech display. In London, crowds braved freezing temperatures along the banks of the Thames River. As the countdown reached its final seconds, all eyes turned to the London Eye, which lit up the skyline with the capital's iconic New Year's fireworks. On to the U.S. now. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that his administration was removing the National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles and Portland. But he added in his social media post that federal forces will come back if crime rates go up. Local leaders in those cities and Democrats have said that the deployments which have faced legal challenges were unnecessary. They have accused the Trump administration of federal overreach and of exaggerating isolated episodes of violence at mostly peaceful protests to justify sending in troops. Trump has said that troop deployments in Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Memphis and Portland were necessary to fight crime and to protect federal property and personnel from protesters. The U.S. Supreme Court on December 23rd blocked Trump's attempt to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois, a ruling that undercut his legal rationale for sending soldiers to other states. Zohran Mamdani has been sworn in as a New York City's mayor, ushering in the new year with new leadership. The private oath-taking ceremony was administered by New York Attorney General Letitia James. It was held at the historic Old City Hall subway station, closed to the public since 1945.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution.
You're watching DD India Live, still to come on the show. President Murmu participates in AI for Beginners module and launches the Skill the Nation Challenge. And Vande Bharat sleeper train to be launched in January, announces Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I am Tanvi Taneja. Australia provides duty-free access to all Indian exports starting today under the Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement between the two countries. India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, commenting on the third anniversary of the deal, which came into effect on December 29th, 2022, said that 100% Australian tariff lines will be zero duty for Indian exports from 1st of January 2026. In a social media post, the minister highlighted that the agreement is benefiting Indian exporters, MSMEs, farmers and workers. He also said that India's exports to Australia increased 8% in 2024-25. Piyush Goyal said that the agreement has delivered sustained export growth, deeper market access and stronger supply chain resilience over the past 3 years. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh visited the Bangladesh High Commission in Delhi on Thursday. The minister conveyed condolences over the death of former Prime Minister of the country, Khaleda Zia. He also signed the condolence book at the Bangladesh High Commission. The move is viewed as part of India's diplomatic outreach made to Dhaka. Skilling for AI Readiness, an initiative under the Skill India mission, was held on Thursday at the Rashtrapati Bhavan Cultural Centre in New Delhi. The program was organized by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and reflected the Government of India's continued focus on preparing the country's workforce for an AI-driven future. Addressing the event, President of India, Draupadi Murmu, spoke about AI playing a key role in India's growth, employment and productivity in the coming decade.
आने वाले दशक में देश के जीडीपी, रोजगार और ओवरऑल प्रोडक्टिविटी में एआई का योगदान महत्वपूर्ण होगा। देश का एआई टैलेंट पूल विकसित करने में डेटा साइंस, एआई इंजीनियरिंग और डेटा एनालिटिक्स जैसे स्किल की प्रभावी भूमिका होगी। सरकार विभिन्न संस्थाओं, इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर्स तथा एकेडमिया के साथ मिलकर ये सुनिश्चित कर रही है कि भारत केवल टेक्नोलॉजी को अपनाए ही नहीं बल्कि उसके माध्यम से रेस्पॉन्सिबल फ्यूचर को भी आकार दे।
According to the Financial Stability Report released by the Reserve Bank of India, India's central bank, the country's economy continues to grow strongly despite an uncertain and challenging global economic backdrop. The report said, despite an uncertain and challenging global economic backdrop, the Indian economy continues to grow strongly, underpinned by robust domestic demand, benign inflation and prudent macroeconomic policies. The domestic financial system remains robust and resilient, bolstered by strong balance sheets, easy financial conditions and low financial market volatility. The health of the scheduled commercial banks remains sound, with strong capital and liquidity buffers, improved asset quality and robust profitability. Non-banking financial companies, NBFCs, remain robust, supported by strong capital buffers, solid earnings and improving asset quality. The insurance sector continues to display balance sheet resilience and the consolidated solvency ratio remained above the minimum threshold. Indian Railways is all set to introduce the Vande Bharat sleeper train for long journeys. Prime Minister Modi is expected to flag it off later this month. Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav announced that the first ever Vande Bharat sleeper train will operate between Guwahati in Assam and Howrah in West Bengal. He stated that the complete trial, testing and certification of the Vande Bharat sleeper train has been successfully completed.
तो वंदे भारत एक्सप्रेस जो चेयर कार बनी उसने देश में एक नया कॉन्फिडेंस जागृत किया एंड पीपल स्टार्टेड लाइकिंग इट अ लॉट। देश भर से आज रिक्वेस्ट आता है कि वंदे भारत ट्रेन चलाइए, करीब करीब हर एमपी चाहते हैं। वैसा ही कंफर्ट अब ओवरनाइट जर्नी के लिए, वैसा ही कंफर्ट, वैसी ही सेफ्टी, वैसा ही स्टैंडर्ड एक नया ओवरनाइट जर्नी के लिए वो वंदे भारत स्लीपर से स्टार्ट होगा।
Addressing the conference, Ashwini Vaishnav said that the Vande Bharat sleeper train is built on a completely new platform and technology.
हमने जिस तरह से वंदे भारत चेयर कार में लगातार इम्प्रूवमेंट्स किए, हर वर्जन में नए इम्प्रूवमेंट्स किए, अब उन इम्प्रूवमेंट्स के बाद में ये तय किया कि टोटली नया प्लेटफॉर्म एक बने, टोटली नया टेक्नोलॉजिकल बेस एक बने, टोटली एक नए तरीके से सोचें। तो अंदाज़ा था कि करीब 2026 के मिडल तक कंप्लीट हो जाएगा काम, लेकिन लकीली जितनी मेहनत की टीम ने 2026 की आरंभ में ही ये काम कंप्लीट हुआ है।
India and Pakistan today exchanged lists of nuclear installations through diplomatic channels simultaneously in New Delhi and Islamabad. The exchange was carried out under the agreement on the prohibition of attack against nuclear installations and facilities between the two countries. The agreement, signed on 31st December 1988 and effective from 27th January 1991, stipulates that India and Pakistan must inform each other of the nuclear installations and facilities covered under the pact on the first day of every calendar year. This marks the 34th consecutive annual exchange of such lists, with the first having taken place on 1st of January 1992. 1st January marks the 68th Foundation Day of the Defence Research and Development Organization. Formed in 1958, DRDO was entrusted to build India's indigenous defence technology. As the country celebrates DRDO's achievements, the occasion also highlights the vital role of defence research and innovation in safeguarding India's strategic future. A report.
Now, +1, +2 and counting up.
The Defence Research and Development Organization marks its 68th Foundation Day on January 1st. Established in 1958, with just a handful of laboratories, DRDO has grown into a powerhouse of innovation now operating over 50 labs and driving cutting-edge technologies for our armed forces. DRDO over the years has created world-class platforms giving India strategic autonomy. It has done through robust research and development facilities and is pioneering an ecosystem that will enable Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Now,
The integrated air defense weapon systems, QR-SAMs, Vishorats, directed energy weapons, advanced surface wave, over-the-horizon radar, and new man-portable autonomous underwater vehicles for mine countermeasures. The key milestones include the successful long-duration test of the scramjet combustion engine in April, running over 1000 seconds, a critical step towards hypersonic weapons that places India amongst the elite global club. DRDO also demonstrated free space quantum secure communications over 1 kilometer in June, paving the way for unbreakable cyber security. DRDO offered 28 weapon systems for emergency procurement and deepened private sector partnerships, transferring technologies for light tanks, artillery ammunition, and more. Looking ahead, DRDO 2.0 is shifting focus to next generation technologies, directed energy weapons, photonics, quantum systems, and artificial intelligence. Future wars will not be fought by platforms alone. They'll be fought by systems. Systems are being created by DRDO along with the private sector, and DRDO is spearheading this mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat. With camera person Shubham, this is Colonel Danvi for DD India.
On to sports news now. International Olympic President Kirsty Coventry thanked the entire Olympic community for the support she has received during her first few months in office. In a New Year's Day message, Coventry highlighted the Winter Games 2026, noting that the Games will bring together the best winter sport athletes. She described the Games as a new kind of Winter Games where innovation meets tradition, gender equality reaches new heights, and iconic landscapes provide the perfect platform.
As we welcome a new year, I want to thank you, the entire Olympic community, for the incredible support and encouragement you've given me during my first months as IOC president. In just a few weeks, the Milano Cortina 2026 Olympic Winter Games will bring together the best winter sport athletes in Bella Italia, a country that lives and breathes passion. The torch is already moving across Italy, connecting communities and building excitement for Milano Cortina 2026. These games will take athletes and fans to places where winter sport is a part of daily life, showcasing existing world-class venues and celebrating the regions that live and breathe sport.
Australia named fast bowlers Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood and big hitter Tim David in their provisional squad for the T20 World Cup in February, while expanding their spin options to suit conditions in Sri Lanka and India. Cummins, who has not played a T20 since June 2024, was rested from the final two Ashes games to manage his back issues. The pacer will undergo final scans later in the month to determine the participation in the World Cup. Australia also handed surprise call-ups to left-arm spinners Matt Kerneman and Cooper Connolly. They join experienced leg spinner Adam Zampa with Glenn Maxwell and Matthew Short offering additional spin support. Australia will be led by Mitchell Marsh as captain and will kick off their World Cup campaign against Ireland on February 11th. Australia also announced a 15-member squad for the fifth and the final Ashes test against England starting January 4th in Sydney. In the absence of regular captain Pat Cummins, veteran batter Steve Smith will continue to lead the Australian side. Pat Cummins missed the first two Ashes tests against England after failing to recover on time due to a lower back injury. Meanwhile, amid test retirement speculations, Usman Khawaja has retained his place in the squad for the fifth Ashes test. Australia will be looking to end the series on a high after suffering a rare home defeat to England for the first time in almost 15 years. They lead the five-match series 3-1 and have already retained the Ashes trophy. Devdutt Padikkal's golden run in the Vijay Hazare Trophy sparkled yet again as he smashed his 12th century, joining Mayank Agrawal as the joint third highest century maker in the tournament's history. Against Puducherry in Ahmedabad, Padikkal's fluent 113 off 116 balls, laced with 10 fours and 4 sixes, powered Karnataka to a commanding target of 364. Agrawal added a classy 132, while Karun Nayar's quick-fire 62 not out sealed the dominance. Puducherry fought with 50s from Nayan Sham Kangaran and Jayant Yadav, but folded for 296. With 406 runs in just 4 matches at an average of 100 plus, Padikkal's form screams for an India ODI call-up. So that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And you can also download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates on the go. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.